Hello guys, this is Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com, and we're here today with episode number 4 in our incredible new tutorial series where you're releasing the power of your Pico W. What I'm going to need you to do is pour yourself a nice tall glass of ice cold coffee. That would be straight up black coffee poured over ice. No sugar, no sweeteners, none needed. And as you're pouring your coffee, as always, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at SunFounder. SunFounder is actually sponsoring this most excellent series of video lessons. And in this class, we will be using the Kepler kit for Raspberry Pi Pico W from SunFounder. And this kit is pretty awesome, and it actually includes the Pico W. Now, I know a lot of you have already ordered your kit, but if you haven't yet, look down in the description. There is a link over to Amazon, and you can hop on over there and pick one up. And believe me, your life and my life are going to be a whole lot easier if we are working on identical hardware. But enough of this shameless self-promotion. Let's jump in and talk about what I am going to teach you today. And what I'm going to show you is my solution to the homework assignment that I gave you in lesson number 3. So first of all, how many of you guys were successful with that homework? If you were successful, leave a comment down below. I am legend, double chest bump. Or if you were not able to do it, leave a comment down below. I folded up like a cheap Walmart lawn chair. Okay, really guys, I gave you enough information in the first 3 lessons to do this homework, so I hope a lot of you guys were able to do it. And what the homework was to create a 4-bit digital counter using 4 LED. Okay, now let me show you how I did it by starting out here and showing you the schematic that I did. Okay, so if we look at the schematic, first of all, if it's going to be a 4-bit counter, I'm going to need 4 LEDs, and each LED is going to need a 220 ohm current limiting resistor. And then I'm going to need my Pico W. So the first thing that I did was I just came across and put all 4 LED in. Okay, and then I went from the short leg of each LED through a 220 ohm resistor to the ground rail. Short leg of the LED through 220 to the ground rail. Short LED through 220 to the ground rail. Short LED through 220 to the ground rail. Now, who says that this is a ground rail? Well, I made it a ground rail. And if we remember over here on the pin out, this physical pin 18, which is the third one over, that physical pin 18 is a ground. So if you look at this, I come over 1, 2, 3, I snag that pin and I connect it to this top row. Now every single one of these holes becomes a ground. Why? Because I made it a ground. And so I've got 4 LED, I've got 4 current limiting resistors, and now I need to be able to turn each one of those LED on or off individually. And so I'm going to come down to pin 20 and come to this far LED, long leg, and then pin 19 to the next LED, long leg, and then I jump over the ground, and then we are going to have, that's 20, 19, 18, this would be pin 17 to the third LED, and the fourth LED to pin 16. So that is how we are going to do it. Now let's come back over here to the physical world, and what you can see is I have 4 LED, I have 4 of these jumper wires, I have this short one that I'm going to use to establish the ground rail, and then I have my 4 resistors. And so this is going to be a little tricky to get it to where I can see it and you can see it at the same time. But the first thing I'm going to do is to establish my ground rail. The first thing I'm going to do is to establish my ground rail, and that was the 1, 2, third pin over going to the top row. And with just a little care, you can push these in without bending the wires. Okay, that looks really, really, really neat. Okay, then what I am going to do is I am going to come over, and I'm going to start kind of working from the right and going back to the left. And I'm going to create a little bit of a shorter wire here like this. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to go, this was 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. So I'm going to go to that pin 16, and then I'm going to come out, and then this will be where I will put my first LED. All right, let's go ahead and put that in, and it's what? The long leg, right? The long leg connects to the GPIO pin like that. And now I need to put my current limiting resistor in, and there we're going to go from the short leg. I must keep these legs perfectly straight. I'm going to go from the short leg like this, okay, up to the ground rail that I just established, like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to put my next LED in, and I'm going to kind of try to pack these in pretty closely. And so I'm going to skip maybe just one hole. Okay, so you see I just skipped one hole. I lied, I didn't skip any holes. Let me scoot it over by one. Okay, and now I've got it like that. Now I want to come back to the next GPIO pin. So again, this was 16. I'm going to go to pin 17 here. Get that plugged in. Okay, and now this needs to come over again to the long leg of the next LED, like that. Okay, that's looking good. And now I need to get that current limiting resistor in there. So I go from the short leg of the LED up to the ground rail. Okay, so I've got two. Now I'm going to come in and do the third one. And so I will long leg to the right. Okay, long leg to the right. Now let's come in. I think I'm going to start here at the long leg this time. Start here at the long leg of that LED. Kind of come in. Long leg of the LED. Press it in. And now I'm going to come over to pin 19. Like that. And now finally, I'm going to get up. I need the current limiting resistor there. So we'll go from the short leg up to the ground like that. And now we're going to finally come in with the third LED. Long leg to the right. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Now right leg, which is the long leg, we're going to come and we are going to bring it over to, if we can, we're going to bring it over to pin 20. So I'm now at the long leg of the LED. And now are we going to be able to get it over there to pin 20? I sure hope so. I'm a little bit tight there. I'll start here. Okay, so that is in pin 20. And now I'm going to work my way directly through here. And now I'm going to have to kind of stretch this. Stretch it. And I cannot quite get that to fit, to reach. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to get a longer wire. Rather than sit and fight with that thing, I'll get a longer wire and just kind of bend it around. So it looks like one of these green wires would make my life pretty easy. Okay, so we're going to take that white one out and we're going to come in and we are going to connect to pin 20 like that. And now I have plenty of room to come in and connect to the right leg, which is the long leg, like that. Press that down into pin 20. And we're starting to get a rain out there. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but getting a pretty big rain coming in. All right, so we will come back over here, and we have those hooked up, and so now I just have the one last current limiting resistor, which is going to go from the left leg, which is the short leg, up to the ground rail. Okay, now this is a pretty darn neat build. What I don't like is this kind of not real perfectly neat wiring. And so what I would do is, if I were doing this, I would make each wire exactly the right length, and I would get a little bit more perfect than that. But I don't want to slow the video up. Okay, so I think we are ready to start coding. And so let's go over here and let's call up our friend Thani. Let's call up our friend Thani. And let me see, I got to get the view where you can see that. Okay, that's pretty good. And now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to set those four things up. So I'm going to say from machine import pin. All right, you should be familiar with that. Now I'm going to put going from left to right, I'm going to call it LED 1 is equal to pin, and then that is going to be pin what? Well, the leftmost one would be this physical pin 20, which is GPIO pin 14. So this is going to be 14 over here. This is going to be 14 over here. And then that is going to be a pin, a comma, pin dot out, like that. Is that right? That sure looks right. All right, now what I'm going to do is I am going to copy that, and I need to do that for 4 LEDs. So 2, 3, 4. So this will be LED pin 2, LED pin 3, and LED pin 4. And then that is going to be GPIO pin 15, 14, 13, 12. And so we can just go down the row. What did I do wrong? Yeah, the first one is pin 15, 14, 13, 12. And so I've got to correct that. So the first one was 15, 14, 13, 12. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. Now the first thing I want to see is I just want to see if I have my circuit right. If I have my circuit hooked up right, and the easiest way to do that is to come over here and just say LED 1 dot value, and I'm going to make it a 1. Okay, and now we're just going to paste that 3 times. Okay, so LED 1, LED 2, LED 3, and LED 4. So what I'm just trying to see is that if I have it hooked up right, I want to see all these 4 of these come on before I go in and do a lot of coding, because if I do a lot of coding and it doesn't work, then I don't know, did I make a mistake coding, or did I make a mistake, with my with my circuit hookup. So we're just going to go ahead and run this. I'll need you to hold your breath. Boom, giddy up. Okay, what does that mean? That means my circuit is right. So I can go in and I can turn these all off. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, now that should turn them all off. Okay, good. So now what I want to do is I want to create a while loop that I'm going to count in. So I'm going to say while true, when is true, true, true is always true. And then what we are going to do is, you were not seeing that. You are not seeing that, sorry. How long have you not been seeing what I was doing? Okay. There it is. Okay, so you can see now what I'm doing is I'm turning these off, and I'm going to put them in a while loop. Okay, while true, when is true, true, true is always true. And so that turns them off. And so in effect, what is this going to be? This is going to be the number 0. Okay, and so now I'm going to need to pause here so that you can see 0. So I'm going to say from time import sleep, and then I'm going to come down here and let's wait like half a second. So I'm going to say sleep by 0.5. Now what have I just done? I have just shown the user the number 0. Now what do I want to do? I want to show him the number what? The number 1. Now if you remember from our work yesterday, the number 1 would be what? 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay? Now the next one would be 0, 0, 1, 0. Do you see how I'm saying? And in fact, this would be 0, 1, 2, and now we're ready to do 3. And that would be 0, 0, 1, 1, like that. Okay. 4 would be 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. So that would be 4. And you guys should still have this on paper from when you did it last time. And then it just makes it really easy. So now it's going to be 0, 1, 0, 1. We're getting through this. And now it is going to be 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay. And now we're going to fill up a lot of these. It's going to be 0, 1, 1, 1. Okay. And now we're going to carry all the way over, right? Remember that? So it is going to go all the way over to 1, 0, 0, 0. And now you can see this is going to start going pretty fast here. And so now this is going to be 1, 0, 0, 1. And then we are going to come here. And this is going to be 1, 0, 1, 0. And then this is going to be 1, 0, 1, 1. Do you see that we're kind of running out of numbers here pretty quick? Okay. Well, it is really raining out there. It is really, really raining, and the electricity is staying on, so that's doing pretty good. The river's really starting to flow out there. Did you see the little dog? There goes. That's Indigo. Okay. So let's go back and not get diverted anymore. And so we've got 1, 0, 1, 1. And so now we're going to have 1, 1, 0, 0. And now we are going to have 1, 1, 0, 1. Man, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Now we are going to have 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. And now finally, we're going to go all the way, and we're going to have the whole thing filled up, and it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 1. Now it's at this point that I'm really hoping that I didn't make a copy and paste mistake. I am really hoping that I did not make a copy and paste mistake, but we turned them all on. We know the circuit is working. I will need you to hold your breath, take a big sip of coffee. Okay, let's see if this works, and let's count with it. Count with me, okay? So 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 0. Giddy up. All right, we got that done. And man, we made very few mistakes along the way. We got the circuit working, we got the hardware working, and we are counting in binary, baby. Pretty darn cool. I hope you guys were able to do this on your own as well. But I have a lot of fun. I like to just sit and watch these binary counters. I think they are pretty cool, and I can count in binary pretty quickly. I can count in binary pretty darn quickly. Now, let's talk a little bit about the homework for next week. What the homework for next week is, you already, let's see. I like that view a little bit better today. What your homework is for next week is, you've already got this circuit built with 4 LEDs. I want you to go ahead and add a 5th LED, and that should be easy, right? You just bring one more LED in, you got 5 LEDs. And then I want you to create just interesting patterns. Like, I don't know if you remember the old Knight Rider thing with the police car lights and stuff, but I want to see who can create the most intriguing or interesting pattern using a series of LEDs, and kind of explaining what it is. Once you do it, post your solution to YouTube. When you post your solution to YouTube, leave a comment down below with a link to your solution, and then in your solution, link back to this video. And then you guys look at each other's homework. Who can come up with the best, Knight Rider sequence of lighting up the LEDs, or a Thunderdome series of lighting up the LEDs? But just do something really cool with the LEDs based on your own idea. And we want something that has a lot of pizzazz, and something that is pretty snazzy. Okay, guys, I hope you are having as much fun taking these lessons as I am making them. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. When you give us a thumbs up, also, if you've not already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. When you do, make sure you ring that bell so that you get notification when future classes come out. And most importantly, share these videos with other people, because the world needs more people doing coding and fewer people sitting around watching silly cat videos. Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com. I will talk to you guys later.